the DS got a whole bunch of new games last year, and now everyone has one, so I don't have to worry about being like, sorry, the DS, 3DS isn't any good. Now it's good, so. Shadow of the Labyrinth, going to be a new game for the 3DS, featuring the cast of P3 and P4 working together in an alternate universe. At the beginning of the game, you choose to play as either 3MC or 4MC's POV. So that gives you double the gameplay. You can start over New Game Plus as the other MC and enjoy it all over again. It's headed by the director of Etrian Odyssey, I think that's 4. I don't know what it was. And apparently the gameplay is extremely similar, like to the point that it's basically Etrian Odyssey repaint, but I don't care. You pick from a pool of all 20 characters to have 5-person parties while you fight. Each character uses their main persona as well as their sub-persona chosen by you. You gain them as cards. I think that's what Marie is in there for. And you put them as your sub-persona, but everyone also uses their main persona, like Izanagi and Orpheus and stuff like that. And it releases this June in Japan if you want to spoil yourself, but it also comes out in fall in North America. Yay. I personally... Oh, and the story revolves around a rumor that there are 7 wonders of Yasodami High, a mysterious clock tower, and a labyrinth that appears out of nowhere in the school grounds during the Yasodami Culture Festival. According to said rumors, whoever hears the sounds of the tower's bell will die. The bell's chime is also heard in Tartarus by the members of Seas who find themselves transported to Yasogami High. The only way to return to the world to its original state seems to be hidden within Zen and Rei, the new characters, the blonde girl and the guy with the crossbow. However, both of them have lost their memories, and I guess that's what the game is about. And I'm really looking forward to it. I personally love the style, the painting and cute that they put on it. There have been other cutscenes where, Shinjiro is, petting Koromaru, and I'm like, yes. And everyone's happy and alive, and I'm like, just stay that way, please. Can I just take a picture, and then you all just stay there forever. But yeah, it looks like it'll be a lot of fun. It's another quality Atlas game, and we get to play all of these games because Atlas rocks at localizing. So let's move on to our next trailer. Where is it? There it is.
Yes.
Okay. Also inappropriate. Yes, Persona 4, okay, we're just calling it the Ultimax here, but in Japan, it was like the Ultimax Suplex Hold, all over at the same time. I don't even know why they call it that, because it's not like, yeah?
Is it just a remake of the current fighting
No,
game? Or
it's a sequel. It's a sequel.
So it doesn't have the content from the original?
Yeah, it's got all the same characters from the last game, and it's added new characters. And if you're into fighting games at all, you'll know that like a lot of games, like you'll notice when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, like two months later, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate came out. Because fighting games do this thing where they release, and then they play, and then they bug fix, and then they release their next game.
How
And
many
then,
Street Fighter 2s have there been anyway?
and that's basically what they're doing here with Persona, along with adding some more characters. So yeah, it's a sequel to the previous Persona 4 Arena. And it includes a new story, new playable characters. The red-headed guy with the stars that you saw was Shomi Mizuki. And he, like Shadow Labrys, plays Shadow and not Shadow. He plays with and without a persona as a separate character in each one. Junpei and Yukari from P3 are not playable. Risei from P4 is now a character that you can actually play. Yeah, I don't know how the hell she's gonna fight, but
With a mic.
yeah, with like a microphone or
She's going to
something.
summon legions of her zombie fans.
Yeah, if that's what she does, like go ahead. As you can see, Adachi was at the end of that video, so he continues to be rumored as a playable character for the console release, but they have not said anything official, and he's not in the Japanese arcades, so I don't know. But he was definitely at the end of that video, so he has something to do with something. I've watched, I have a vice, and my vice is watching video game tournaments. And I've watched some Japanese tournaments of this in the arcade. And they have made a lot of balance improvements. Like, you'll know that in the first game, everyone had 4 Persona cards before they had to break. And that was bad for some of the characters that really relied on their Persona, like Elizabeth or Yukiko. So now they've changed it, so depending on your character, you have a different amount of cards that can break before your Persona breaks. So for a character like Akihiko, who rarely uses his Persona, only has 2 cards, but Elizabeth now has like 7 or 8 cards. So, yeah. So it really evens that out. I also watched a lot of lower tier characters like Yosuke have had their bread and butters really improved. I'm using fighting game terminology. Bread and butter is like it's like the
Very basic combos.
the most basic combo. Like when you mash in that game for the auto combo, that's basically a bread and butter. And like Yosuke does that thing where he goes flip, flip, throws the kunai. And the new one, he goes flip, flip, throws the kunai, goes down in a V motion, and then comes down with Tentarafu, and then goes up in a Garudai. So they've improved characters that were lacking. They've held back, like I think they've shortened Aegis's Orgia mode because she was like way OP. And I think they like boosted Teddy, but they got rid of some of Mitsuru, but then they boosted some others. So everyone's gotten way more balanced, and you can use them easier. And it just looks nicer, and there's more characters and whatever. But I don't want to bore you too much with fighting games because I could just go on forever. And the story is just that Red Fog has covered the world, and you saw the characters from P3, Akihiko, Mitsuru, and Aegis were all on the crucifix for some reason. We don't know why. And apparently this Minazuki fellow is he's in charge of everything. And then Junpei, Iori, and Yukari Takeba go to find them. And yeah. So that's that game. And now we go into the more, something a little sillier.
A little?
A little, just a little. You know.
Real stuff.
This is the real reason why we're turn up this music a little bit.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? 今宵お届けするのは Best in Persona Sound. Here we go! 一世口川このガソリナバおばあちゃんちの豆腐屋手伝っていただきたいですが、この度見事にアイドルとして復帰、小悪魔的な魅力健在、藤川リセのダンスによくチェックイットアウト。Unbelievable! Could you imagine the step? It's genius! 我らがヒーロー、今度はダンスでシャドウをノックダウン。New face, Otterbeans! 先輩アイドルリセチーニ様、物語にもぐっとリレーテッドしちゃうみたいです。This smile is ready for all kill! 実はアクションならレディットミーなディンゴとアトラス、かなりアーネスト。こう見えてもストーリーは濃厚、正真正銘ペルソナシリーズ。プレイステーションビータで送る本気の P サウンドアクション。ペルソナ4ダンシングオールナイト。Don't listen, baby.
Now your Vita is slightly less of a paperweight.
That's what she'll do in Arena. She'll confuse them.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not quite so much to say about that, except that somebody just reskinned Miku Miku Dance. Yeah. No, it's. I've played Miku Miku Dance, and looking at that, it seems like the exact same engine. So. Persona 4. Yeah, they dance with their personas. I can't make this shit up. I just can't.
Who gave Atlas the big drugs?
Apparently this dingo guy. It's a rhythm game featuring the characters and music from Persona and Dingo. And, you know, considering the music from Persona is so good, I'm not really unhappy about this. Rise Kanami, who was the Kyaru Pamu guy, you know. And then Chie Yosuke and Kanji are all confirmed to dance. I don't know.
I wonder what the plot is going to be for this one.
Well, if any of you have played The Golden, there's a band scene where you all go to Junes and play as a band for Rise. And when you come home, if you talk to Dojima, he says, "You better not be doing this to get into the idol business." And now he's like, "What are you talking about, Uncle?" But yeah, it'll be in the fall in Japan in 2015 for us. I'll buy it because it looks silly and fun, and I have a Vita, so. And some of you, if you've looked at the concept art for Persona 4 Arena and the concept art for this game, you might have noticed this.
It's the best pose.
I don't know who's learning from who here, but
Who does it better?
yeah, I don't know. I think Junpei puts a lot of, but you can't.
He's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. But you is just, he's so classic. But yeah, okay. And then we got one final.
This is a good one.
Oh yeah, it's so good. It's red, and there are some chairs. And
That's it.
it's red, and there are some chairs.
There are things and balls.
Yes, there are balls and there are red chairs. Chairs.
It's chairs.
PS4, not even for Persona 4. I mean, Persona 5.
I heard they were making Persona 5 more than just
And they might make it 4 as well, but they promised us PS3, and that's been already made official. They promised us PS3 before Catherine came out, so. And I'm glad they stuck to it because PS3 is what I have. So, not a whole lot to garner from that, but I did. Because you'll notice, you can just pick up the chair.
Apparently it's supposed to be about like social conventions binding us down or something like
Yes, that's what I've heard. I do have some actual stuff about the game. Persona 5 is a project with Katsuya Hishino, Shigenori Sojima, and Shoji Meguro, so we know it's quality already. They worked on 3 and 4, and they've already said they want the feel to be familiar to people who have played 3 and 4. So we're probably gonna get the whole social links thing again. As such, the game is also going to be another high school game, which I was like, okay, fine. And the themes are slavery and emancipation, the freedom meant to liberate those who are bored and discontent with their lives, and it's supposed to stir up a really strong emotions leading to a really satisfying catharsis at the end. I don't know what they meant by that. Game developers are really good at talking vaguely about what they're doing before they actually say anything about it. The color theme will be red, but this is actually important because, as you noticed, in 3 it was blue, and in 4 it was yellow. It was obvious as heck, and now it's red, so I wonder how they're going to work with that. As promised so many years ago, the game will be a PS3 exclusive from us. They might release it for the PS4 also, but we're definitely getting it for the PS3. And it'll be released this fall in Japan, where I will then shut down the internet and go live under a rock until it comes out in North America. They've been really, really, really tight-lipped about this thing. I have never seen a Japanese company release so little information about a game before its release. We still know absolutely nothing about it, but just that it's coming out, which is enough for me. But at least throw me a bone, like at least show me the design of the main character, or just like the design of the school. Show me some of your menu hubs. I don't even care. Just show me something. But I have a feeling it's not going to be until after summer that they start showing actual content.
What if the main character is the new guy from the episode of Ultimax?
That wouldn't make much sense.
What if the ultimate
But
guy is a bad guy?
That could, I wouldn't put it past them, but I am so tired of 3 and 4. I mean, I love them to death, but it's like the horse
Let
is
this
so
game
dead and
be
so
honest like
beaten.
San Antonio.
Yeah, and it's like all dead and gross and maggoty, and like I understand the Golden 4 animation, because if that money is going towards the development for 5, then I will take that every month until the release, and I will eat it and I will like it. But they're humping a cash cow, and I can't blame them for it really. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all the games. Yeah, but I got through that pretty quick. If you have any extra questions about the games, think of them now, because I'm just going to go through this lore really quickly, and then we can have open discussion and questions, because that's what everyone likes. So a lot of you may know that the theory of the persona and the shadow was created by Carl Jung, who was he was a contemporary of Freud. He was a Swiss psychiatrist that was the founder of analytical psychology. And he thought of the concept of the persona, which is a mask that we wear to make an impression upon others and also to conceal our true nature. So, when you think about it, like one of the main characters with the persona, it's not only the image that they want other people to see about them. Like a really good obvious one is like Yosuke, how his persona is like really obviously a superhero, and like that's what he wants to be. He wants to be a hero, so that's what he shows to people, and that's the persona. But you'll notice that also all personas all wear a mask. They don't show their true face. And that's them hiding from the real world. And that's the concept that Young created. And he also thought of the shadow, which is an unconscious aspect of our ego that we don't recognize. And we tend to remain ignorant of it because it's the least desirable aspect of ourselves. And everyone carries a shadow, and the less embodied it is in our conscious minds, the more black and dense it is. So the less we know about our own faults, the worse they are. That's what they're saying. You have to understand yourself, which is why when you conquer your shadow is when you admit to what is wrong with you, like what you've been doing incorrectly that you've been ignoring, and that's when you get your persona. So that's the symbolism behind everything, which I really I like it. It hits home if you think about it. If you ever think about like, man, I wonder what my shadow is, or I wonder who my persona is, and it's something to think about. And so when you're able to unify your persona and your shadow, you can become truly realized, which is, be your true mind. And that's when you know all the parts of yourself. And that's like the culmination, like at the end of the games, usually the hero comes through an incredible realization, and at that realization is when they gain the ultimate power to defeat evil. It's not through like bravery or courage, it's through understanding the most important parts of yourself. Jin had a theory that the conscious ego and the personal unconscious, below all that, was a huge collective unconscious that all humanity shares. A good example, I know this is kind of a hard concept to grasp, but we use the example of mythology to grasp this, because if you know, there's a lot of fairy tales and folk tales that exist in different parts of the world before people could communicate with each other, and they're really similar. People
like Orpheus and Izanagi both going down to the underworld to find a lost love.
Exactly, the same thing. I know they're not exactly the same story, but extremely similar. And that we latch on to these archetypes and these stereotypes, even as humans, before we even met. There are things about us that are all the same. And that's where he gets this collective unconscious theory. And that's why all the personas are mythological figures, or from folk tales or whatnot, because he believed that these figures were the most powerful parts of the human psyche because we all share them together. They all exist in the same collective unconscious, which is why the main character is able to summon so many different personas. It's like he's reaching into the collective unconscious to summon things from other people.